Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Steve from GraphicDesignerTips.com. This is Logo Design Bootcamp episode number 19, believe it or not. And timing wise, it's pretty interesting because every week I design a new fictitious logo based on the letter of the alphabet. And I design a brand that, like I said, does not exist, but you're going to learn from it in the end in Adobe Illustrator on how to build it. Now, every week I do a new letter consecutively, and this week it just so happens that we're at the letter S. And what's today? St. Patrick's Day. So what did I do all day besides shop and not drink any beer until now? Is I grabbed my Guinness, I threw on my Irish charm and my Celtic shirt, and basically I made this logo for you guys. So the logo you're going to be learning from today is called, what the hell is it called? It's called St. Patrick's. I actually really just forgot that. So that's what happens, I guess. St. Patrick's is the logo you're going to be learning about today. It's a very well-balanced logo with a really cool Celtic font. So let me critique it, and then we'll get into it in Adobe Illustrator, and I'll show you exactly how to build it. And I guarantee you, in the end, you'll become a better graphic designer. So let's go. All right, so the St. Patrick's logo is a very well-balanced, very centered logo. There's a lot of stuff you're going to learn in this logo. There's all different types of things I had to do with the Pathfinder and, doing distortion effects and stuff like that. But the font that I found on the internet that I was able to use, it was a Celtic font. It was called Stonecross, so you can do a search for that, download it for free, and it's got to all be in caps. There's no lowercase variations of the letter, but it's got the Celtic symbols on the left and the right, and it's got the little shamrock, knocking out the A. So your brain will read that as Patrick's, regardless of the fact that the A isn't in there. So that's a little design trick right there. So let's get into Adobe Illustrator CS6, and it's going to take a little while to build this logo, but you're going to learn some really cool things. So let's go. All right, so now we're in Adobe Illustrator CS6, and I'm working on an 8.5 by 11 document size. And the first thing you want to do is you want to change that background color, because this logo is going to be a knockout. You can always change this logo around to a full color on top of a white later on, but that's the purpose. Actually, in all my logo design boot camps, I haven't knocked anything out of another color yet. So that's what I wanted to do in this logo design. So the background, you want to make two layers. The layer in the back, you want it to have this green. And the way that you get the green that I have, I actually put the hex codes under the colors. And the way that if you don't know how to do this, is you're going to come into here, into your fill color, and you're going to double click, and you're going to type in the number right there, the hex number, and then hit OK. And then you're going to have the swatch that you can fill in this background color with. So I'm going to lock my background, and I'm going to now be designing on layer 1, which is the layer on top of the background. You can always rename them on your own. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to type out the word St. Patrick's, and it's got to be in all caps for this this font. It's called Stonecross, like I said. And after you get the last letter in, hit Escape so you can now mess with that selection. You're going to scale this down a little bit, and I also, like I said, I put the other hex codes up here. So what you probably want to do is you want to make these swatches and pull them into your swatch palette. So what we're going to do now is we are going to fill this with the light color right there, like the cream color, and we're not going to have a stroke or anything on it. And we're going to come up to Object. We're going to go to Object, Create Outlines, type Create Outlines or Shift-Command-O on your keyboard. And now we just created outlines on that. Now, what I'm going to do here is, if I zoom in, you're going to see that I have basically I basically have a stroke behind it, and then I have a second stroke behind it, cutting it off. But actually, before I get to that, what I want to do is, now that I created outlines, is with my direct selection, I want to select the letter A, and I want to hit Delete. And I'm just going to select this entire thing, marking it with the direct selection. I'm just going to hit my arrows over, and I'm going to nudge it down just a little bit. And this is a little shamrock that I traced through something on the internet that I found. But basically, it's a very simple thing. You can actually take the pen tool. On top of this video, you can take a screenshot with your computer and trace right over this shamrock. And just like so, if you know how to use the pen tool, zoom in here a little bit. It's really about maybe 20 points and you're done. All right, so once I'm going to just delete that, but you guys know how to use the pen tool by now. hopefully. If not, I have a tutorial on the pen tool, or you can watch any of my other tutorials. But now that you have the shamrock in there, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this entire word with the shamrock, and one second, and we're going to go to Object, Group, or Command G, and I'm going to select this, and I'm now going to go to Copy, Command C, and Command B, and I'm going to paste it in back. And I'm going to fill it with that darker green. And I'm going to nudge it over to the right 2 clicks, 1, 2. And you technically can't see it. Actually, let's back up. I'm going to go 1. And you'll see it when I do the next thing. I'm going to go Command C and Command B again. So I just pasted it behind itself again. I'm going to nudge it over to the right and fill that with that cream color. And now what we have is this separation now. We basically have this thing starting to layer. Now what you want to do is you want to kind of zoom in here, and you want to mess around and move these layers. But there's 3 layers on top of each other. So the first thing you're going to do with the top layer is you're going to go to Object, Lock Selection, or Command 2. And you're going to come in here while holding the Shift, and you're going to scoot this over just a little bit, or maybe leave it there. Command 2 to lock that. Now we're going to select the third one. I'm going to move that in because I want that the closest. All right, now that looks kind of how my finalized logo is. That's where I want it to be. Now, what I'm going to do is, which I probably should have done before, is I'm going to create a little box right here. I'm going to hit the letter E on the keyboard. While holding the Shift, I'm going to turn it into a little diamond right there. I'm going to zoom in, and you're going to do the same bit. You're going to go Command C, Command B, nudge it over to the right once, fill it with dark green. All right, now while you haven't, don't click off anything. You need to have this still selected. Command C, Command B again, nudge it over, and fill it with that lighter color. All right, so I'm going to pull that in just a little bit, get it to where I want it to be. I am going to now pull this up here because I also made this my my little separator right there. Cool. And so, all right, now we have the word St. Patrick's finally. Now we're going to select the whole thing in Command G. We want that group just in case you don't want to move something on accident, and moves as a whole entire selection out. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make this Celtic symbol, and we're going to make this little wave that kind of follows the same texture as this Celtic symbol. So the first thing we're going to do before anything is we're going to make that actual pattern as a brush. So we're going to create a line, hold Shift while you're doing it, and we're going to fill the stroke in with this beige, and we're just going to go to Option, click, and hold Shift and bring it down just a little bit. And you're going to select both of these. You're going to drag them. Oh, I got to have my brushes open. You're going to drag them, all of them being selected, into your brushes. You're going to see a little plus sign comes up. Let go. And now you're going to create an art brush and hit OK. And it's going to ask you got to go either from left to right or right to left. So just hit OK on that. So anything I do with the brush tool now, it's going to have that on it. So if I go do swirls like that, it's going to do that. Pretty cool, right? So what I'm going to do here is I am going to, let's see, I'm going to create one line, okay? And I am going to create another line down here. So Option, click Shift is how you're going to get this down here. And you can even lay it over the P, and we'll mess around with that P and the K later to kind of see how it goes up like that and like that. But you want to select these 2 strokes and now come into your brushes and select the brush that you made. Now this brush is kind of thick, so I'm going to come over here into my stroke and I'm going to lighten it to about 0.5. There we go. I like that. And this Celtic symbol was a vector that I found on the internet I was able to use for this, but I changed it around a little bit to make it very unique. And basically, I'm going to zoom in. So what you can do right now is you can take a screenshot of this, pull it into Illustrator, and make this exact shape. Now, when this shape is done, basically, if you look at how the points are, this is kind of how you want the shape. But regardless of that, you can always just make it unique in your own way. But what I basically did on here was, with this shape selected, I clicked on that same pattern that I made. And let's turn the fill off and turn the stroke. Can't turn the stroke off. Let's turn the stroke lower. Go down to like 0.25. And that looks like kind of what I'm looking to get here. With the reflect tool, or O on the keyboard, you're going to want to mess around with this till the right side is flush like that. And we're going to move this up so that's where I want it to be. Now we're going to option click shift over, and we're going to go to the reflect tool again, flip it around while holding shift. Basically you click and then move your mouse to the right, and it's going to flip that bad boy around. And I'm now going to pull these two in with the direct selection till they touch. And later on we'll have to refine this. I mean, this logo probably took me about an hour and a half to mess around with, and I had some other ideas, but then I ended up going with this one. You know, I was going to do St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's beer, St. Patrick's this, that, but I ended up just ending with St. Patrick's, which is cool. But basically, what you want to do next is, since this is a line segment, I'm actually going to make that thinner, 0.25. Never mind, make it like 0.38 or something like that. Cool. While you have these selected, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to come up into the effects tool, and you're going to go to distort and zigzag. All right, now hit preview, and you're going to get this kind of like look that looks like that. Now we're going to hit smooth, and we're going to make a bunch of ridges and lower the size till, let's see, let's get it pretty close to where I had it in my original. That looks pretty close. Let's see, you can always add more of these. That looks even closer. All right, let's hit OK. And now you got this funky shape going on. Now, what you want to do here is, and always, whenever I get, I get some headway on a logo or anything I'm designing, I always copy it over. So I'm copying this whole thing down just in case I screw up. I could always come back to this. So, but I am working on this one up here. I am going to lower this down out of the way. And what we want to do here now is we basically want to, let's make a shape for the inside. Now, basically what I'm going to do is I want to contour this Celtic symbol, and then I just want to make a hard line going around the outside. And you'll see what I'm going to do in a second. So let's make this, and we can always refine this later. Basically, I want to make this inside shape, and I want to be able to cut out these orange gradients in here. All right. And come straight across just like so. Don't even worry about it. And we're now going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, and I'm going to fill that with red so you can kind of see what's going on. It's kind of behind everything. No, totally behind everything actually. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to knock this stuff out of here and actually create the shape. Instead of doing a points, click, 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 click to get this exact shape around the whole entire thing. All right, so now we're going to select this red box, and we're going to go to Command 2, lock it so we don't on accident select it. It's a pain in the ass when you start to move things on accident. And we're going to select these two strokes with that brush stroke on it. And basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go to Object, Expand Appearance. And now it just created shapes out of those strokes. Now, what I'm about to do is going to be a little bit funky, but just bear with me. You're going to like it. So we're going to select this, and we're going to go to right-click and Ungroup. And we're going to do the same thing with this, Ungroup. And like I said before, there is a reason why you want to copy things and use them for later. So let's take 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go copy these down, Option Shift Click, just in case we want to use these later. And you guys are always asking me on the comments all the time how I figure this stuff out. This is how I do it. It's through experimentation, saving things for later. Because you can only Command Z, undo stuff to a certain point. So now that we have these all as separate elements, what I'm going to do is let's see, what did I do? I'm going to take this top one. And since it is its own path, I'm going to hit the pen tool on the keyboard, and I'm going to come here to the end point. And once you see a diagonal line, like a divide line or the symbol on your keyboard that is attached to the question mark, it's the alternative, click here, and you're going to add to this shape. We're going to come all the way over here until you get to the very last point, and you'll know you're at the last point when you hover over it and a little O comes up. A little circle. It means to complete the circle. So you're going to click this, even though it's not a circle, And now we have a shape on top of this, and I'm going to fill this shape with yellow so you can kind of view what's going to happen here. I'm going to cut the yellow out of the red. Now, before I can do that to the red is I'm going to go to Object, Unlock All, or Shift Command 2, and we're going to select this yellow, and we're now, let me see something real quick. I'm just going to jump ahead. Nope. All right, we're going to have to do the same thing to the bottom in a different way. We're going to click this, shift, and hold and click that too, and we're going to now minus the front. So now we have it subtracted from the top. And if you notice what happens every time you do, most of the times when you do things in a Pathfinder, it sends everything to the front. So we're going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, so you can see everything nice again. And we're now going to do the same thing with this bottom stroke. And we're going to click here. We're going to click here, make this shape. And we're basically, Pathfinder is you need to know the Pathfinder if you want to make logos. So now that I have this outside shape and I just selected the red while I held shift at the same time, we're going to minus the front again. And now we got this shape. Okay. And that looks actually pretty cool with the red. I mean, shit, I can even select that orange in there, but I don't want to do that in this case. Basically, what you want to do is you want to make a gradient that's light green to dark green, and I'm just going to sample my gradient right here. And I'm going to kind of just come here and mess around with that just a little bit. And if you notice what happened, and this is why I copy everything, if you guys are wondering, you know, why I'm doing this stuff, is if you notice, when I did that before, I lost my top stroke and my bottom stroke. So now I can come up here. I can shift this back up. Options, click Shift. Boom. There it is, back. And we're going to do the same thing with the bottom one. Get it back to where it needs to be. Boom. All right. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box right here that's going to extend over the bottom of this stroke, or at the bottom of this stroke right here. And we're going to fill it with a gradient of orange to that dark green. And let's just kind of go like this. We're going to have to mess with this around later anyway. And we're going to need this stroke again. We're going to do the same exact thing. So we're going to come here. We're going to now click it. And we're going to make the shape towards the bottom. All right. And I mean, technically this shape is hiding under it. If I pull it out, you can see it's still a box, but we don't want to do that in this case. We want to do things the right way because you want to send this stuff to the printer the right way. And now that we have this shape, we're going to select this, and we're going to minus the front again. And now we have this shape, but we lost that stroke again. So let's come down here, pump that stroke right back up there where we want it to be. And, take this and we're going to mess around with the gradient just like the orange is peeking out just a little bit. All right. Something happened over here. So basically what I can do is I could just take my pen tool and I can cut out what I want to cut out on that box. Draw whatever you want to cut out. Okay. Select that. Both of those minus the front. There we go. Pathfinder will change your life as a designer. So let's do the last one. It's going to be, well, first we got to make this box. And, all right, I'm just going to kind of fudge it. I'm going to do one of these. All right, so you're going to, let's see, you're going to select and make that, we're going to make that shape around everything, come all the way back to the end. And we're going to click this box that's hidden under there, minus the front. And I totally screwed something up. All right, let's see. Let's back up. Hit Command Z. Sorry, guys and girls. Let's make this box again like I did before. All right, we're going to send it to the back. And we're now going to take this again, and we're going to click on the end of this, and we're going to make this shape all the way around. All right, we're going to click that. We're going to subtract the front. There we go. Much better. We're going to have to mess around with this Pathfinder some more in a second. But let's come down here to this stroke and pull it back up. We're going to put that right there, like so. And I'm going to send this to the back. But you notice there's some extra stuff hanging. Let's fix our gradient. You're going to notice that it kind of hangs off the side. So again, with the pen tool, let's contour this Celtic shape. We're going to cut it out from this right here. There's one. And it, like I said, it sends it to the front, so send it to the back again. And same deal over here. Oh, yeah, that got really messed up. So let's kind of go in here, do our thing, and minus the front. Send this element to the back. And let's see, we're almost there. All right, cool, cool. The next thing I did was basically I just did these little orange shapes in here by just coming to the pen tool. And you can kind of fudge this. You don't have to get the perfect, but you don't want to see, any spaces with green, and it's going to look kind of funky. But let's see. Each shape, you shouldn't have more than, like 8 points or so. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and you can mess around with the points later. 4, 5, let's see, 6. All right, 1, 2, 3, and I'm just gonna fill it with a solid orange. I'm going to go to Object Arrange, Send to Back, or I believe that's Option Command open bracket, and I forgot the one in the middle, so we're gonna do that. 1, 2, 5. Send that bad boy to the back. Now we're gonna select all 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 while holding Shift. And we're going to Option, click Shift, scoot that over to the other side, flip it around, throw it in the middle, and it should line up because it was the same shape to begin with. The very last thing that we're going to do on this logo is just a little bit refinement. You got this P kind of sticking out. So basically what I did here was I selected all these over here and I went to Command 2 to lock them, to not mess around with them on accident. And you want to just start messing around with the points on here. Pull them up a little bit. Let's see, how much higher do I want to go with that? Basically, if you see what happened, I got this going on right now when I pulled that up. So I'm going to hit minus sign on my keyboard, and we're going to subtract some of these extra points. Let's see, where are you? 1, 2. The other one was right there. All right, just to clean that up a little bit. You can even use the Pathfinder and then cut the shapes out of here if you want. That's up to you. Because at this point in the tutorial, this is your tutorial. This is for you to mess with and augment it however you like. And some people have been doing these and tagging me on my Facebook with them. So definitely, if you feel like you did a good job on this and you want to share it out and show maybe a variation on it, definitely tag us on Facebook. Let's see. Mess around with this. And just kind of fudge that a little bit. So I think that's it. That is the St. Patrick logo in Adobe Illustrator CS6. All right, so thanks for joining us for another episode of Logo Design Bootcamp. Let me know your comments and thoughts below on what you learned in this or what you'd like to see in the remaining episodes. There's about maybe 6, 7 left. Yeah, like I said, this has been a very long series, and I've taught little things different in every video. So I know through the feedback I've been getting, everybody's been learning a lot, and I'm happy about that. But anything on your mind for the remaining episodes, definitely let me know. Subscribe to this channel by clicking this button right here. Here's a couple other videos from the series that you're definitely going to be impactful for you as a graphic designer. And definitely share us out on Facebook and Twitter, but mostly Facebook. It's how you get noticed a lot better. So that's really it, everybody. I'm Steve from GraphicDesignerTips.com. Hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day, and I'll see you next week. Peace.